Greetings to all. Festive season is round the corner. Time for celebrations, birthday parties, inauguration, wedding ceremonies, and whatnot. So, what are we waiting for? Let's move on for invitations. Invitations are a kind of personal notices sent individually. They are a part of social etiquettes extended to relatives, friends, acquaintances on auspicious occasions. They are of two types, that is, formal and informal. And formal invitations can be in the form of card or letter. The card format is used when we distribute them at a mass level. For example, annual day, sports day celebrations, or marriage ceremonies. And when we are using the format for formal letters of invitation, it is used to invite someone as chief guest, resource person, or a judge. Format is the spinal cord of invitation. Young learners keep in mind the division. Format, content, and expression carries equal marks. Invitations are partial notices in which who, whom, date, time, venue, and the purpose has to be taken care of. For example, see, who is the host? Who is inviting? The host is inviting. Whom? To the invitee. What is the formal phrase of invitation? Here are the examples. Now, what is the purpose, the occasion for invitation? What is the date, time, and venue? And then, as it is the annual day celebration or it is sports day, then the name of chief guest or VVIP must be there. Last but not at all the least, RSVP, which means please respond. Now, tips to write formal invitation. When you are writing the tips to the invitation, make sure an elegant card is preferred. Now, invitations in formal manner, when they are written, it should be written in third person, which means he, she, they, them, their, instead of using I, you, and we. Here is the example which you can very easily go through it. Similarly, make sure that you use simple present tense when you are using the invitation. And the subject matter should be central aligned. Here is a question for sample invitation. You can just go through it and now you see the solution also. It is about a student of Newton Public School, and as the school is having the annual function, you have to design an invitation card to be sent to the parents. Yes, you have guessed right. Here the format would be in a card form. Let's see the solved example. Very easily you can see here. Name of the host is the principal, staff, and students. Now they are from which place? The name of the school is there. You can see the phrase, how they are inviting the guests. Solicit the pleasure of your company. Then what is the occasion? The occasion is the annual function. Now, where? In their school. What time? 11 a.m. 15th November. Now again, as it is at mass level, the parents ought to be invited. So, the chief guest, that also has to be mentioned. And last, you can very easily see RSVP, the contact person for any queries. He must be contacted. His name, designation, and phone number must be there. Keep in the mind that everything is centrally aligned. Another example, and this is a solved example for inauguration, and you can see this also carries the same format like the other one, which was for annual day celebration. Now we move on to wedding cards. You can see the wedding invitation card. This also is an example of formal invitation. But here you will be noticing a slight change. See the question. On behalf of your parents, draft a formal invitation to be sent to your friends and relatives on the occasion of your brother's marriage. See the example. You will note in the sample answer, everything is centrally aligned. Though all information is like notice. You can see Mrs. and Mr. Satish Batra and the line, the polite invitation. Now what is the occasion? The occasion has been mentioned, the marriage, and the marriage of their son Mayank with Meher, and the date, time and venue has been mentioned. Even the place of the banquet hall is there. Make sure in annual day function you had the chief guest, but here in marriage ceremonies the chief guest is not required. Why? Because Mayank and Meher, they are the chief guest themselves. I hope you understand. From last few years, formal invitation in letter format is often asked in board exams, hence one for practice. Viewers, please note the change. It is more like a formal letter with sender's and receiver's address, subject, salutation, content and complimentary clause. You will have the examples, solved examples to have a better view. You can see very clearly the sender's address, receiver's address, then you have the subject, you have the salutation, you see the content, and in the last the complimentary clause. Please see the word. Very clearly the purpose, date, time and venue like notice is mentioned here. One more sample question for practice, and again a solved example to practice and learn the right format. Again I repeat, this letter format, informal invitation, is like formal letters. And here you can very easily see the usage of not the third person, but first and second person are also used. Now we move on to informal invitation. The moment it comes informal, it is sent to close friends and relatives. Such type of invitations are written in the form of personal letters, and you can include your personal feelings and emotions. Here are the points to remember, though these are also partial notices, but they are different from formal invitation. Please do not get confused. I just go through the points. First, personal letter for pattern. Second, meant for relatives, friends. Third, very important, informal letters, informal invitations also, I told you third person. Use third person, but when you are writing informal invitation, kindly use I, we and second person you. There is no need to write subject and receiver's address. The style is simple and informal. Now, a sample question for informal invitation. You are Anuj and Anuja of 123 Vivek Vihar, New Delhi. You have been successful in IIT entrance examination. Write a suitable invitation for your friends, inviting them to a get-together to celebrate the occasion at your house. See, how is it written? Very easily, you can see the address, but no subject is there. So please note the change. The salutation is there. See the beautiful use. I have much pleasure in inviting you for post-selection party after clearing IIT entrance examination in flying colors. Kindly reach my residence at 7:30 p.m. on 26 June to celebrate this moment of joy with friends and family members. So in this format, you can very easily see it looks more or less like a personal letter. Here, the beautiful use of personal feelings and emotional touch is there in the concluding paragraph. But children, be mindful about the word limit. I have exceeded it in this letter just to display different sort of feelings. Thank you. Now, for replies, please watch my next video.